Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. I'm always fascinated every time I talk with her. She just blows my mind. And I really mean that. She has given me such insight in many different areas. And part of that is a connection to those who have passed over. Yes, she's intuitive, medium, harnesses the power of energy, runs deep, Reiki master, has truly healing hands, helps you figure things out using spirituality, inner wisdom, helping you figure out you. And she's back with us. We're going to look at the process of how she hears messages from the other side. Ms. Q, InQuitive wisdom is upon us. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Real good. Now, you are on location. You're getting ready for a lecture that's coming up in the next few days. Tell us about this lecture. What's going on?
So I'm going to be at the Body, Mind, and Spirit Expo. That's going to be held in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's actually at the State Fairgrounds here in Raleigh. And it is a big old party full of different spiritualists, anything spiritual, waist beads, power protective beads, aura readings. Like, it's just so many different things that's going on at the expo. Not only that, you also get to go to different areas of lecture speakers. And it's a powerful there. I'm going to be speaking on Saturday at 4 p.m. And it's going to be whoever comes in that room. It's just a free for all. It's not practice lecture. Whoever spirit wants to talk to them, they're going to talk to them on Saturday.
Wow. Well, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to share here when I first met you. Apparently, my mom wanted to talk, and you were holding a tissue, and your nose was running. Now, it doesn't happen. It was a weird, random thing. And that was my mom coming through. She had an issue with cancer and lost half her nose. And her nose would, in later years, would always be running. So that was there's no doubt. Like, why was that happening the moment that you showed up in front of me? You don't know my life. You don't know anything about that. And you didn't even know why it was happening.
No, I had no idea. She wouldn't even tell me who she was until I talked to you. Then I was like, oh.
That actually sounds like her. She was very protective, like, I don't know about this one over here.
Very. You can already tell that. Should I tell her that's my son? Let me wait. The funniest thing about spirits that I love is I love how they check me out first. So they literally will walk around and I'm like, all right, I see you. They'll, check me out. Like, let's see if this is the real deal. They also want to see if you're genuine. That's how I feel. Like, they're not going to just come to anybody because they want you to make sure you be genuine. I don't sugarcoat anything. So whatever comes out their mouth, I'm going to say, whether you hear it and want it or not.
That's what I love about you. And maybe it's a New York thing. I don't know. But you just bring it on. And there's no filtering. And it's you. It's genuine. And I feel that is your superpower. One of many.
That is my superpower. Growing up, it was a little scary. Like, you tell people that you're talking to somebody, and of course your parents go, oh, your imaginary friend. And I'm sitting there like, I don't know if it's imaginary, but it's definitely somebody talking to me standing here. How my parents, my great-grandmother realized it is I described her husband. I've never met my great-grandfather. I've never seen him a day in my life. And I literally was like, it's a man standing here with this striped suit on, hat. And my great-grandmother was like, excuse me? And I said it again. And she just screamed, she got it, she got it. So again, I'm little. I had no idea what I had. And then that's when she explained to me that I was going to be the next one I had to give. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want that. Like, it's dead people walking around here. You see that? And because she could connect, she was very much aware of what I was seeing. So her and my aunt, may they rest in peace, and my grandmother, they would do these things called tests. And they would just ask me, like, what'd you see? Or if they see me staring off in space so long, they would tap me. Hey, who's there? And that's how I started getting used to it. Now, as little and you have those backing, yes, you are feeling very comfortable. But when you get a teenager and you have all these outside influences, then you start to be protective of the gift. Because again, back when I was coming up, we were weird. We were of the devil. I've gotten called so many things because of people who understand. So then I started, pulling back. I grew up in Brooklyn, a really, really crazy time when the crack era was big. So I lost a lot of friends that I grew up with. So now we all mourning. How do you tell one of your closest friends that the person that just got killed, that we all know, is standing next to me? So now you're weirding out people. So you don't want to be the outcast. You want to be still the cool person, hanging out with your friends, doing what we do. And then you don't want to tell them back then, you're smoking. You're like, oh, you're paranoid. We can't smoke. It was just so many different things in my teenage that I was like, all right, I'm not going to tell anybody anymore, because I literally would freak people out. And then it just came a point in my life where it just kept bothering, because they don't stop. They don't go to sleep because you don't want to be bothered. It just gets enhanced. It gets worse. And sometimes, quite honestly, they mess with you and nothing goes right in your life until you accept who you are, because you're supposed to accept who you are. I didn't realize until I got older that I need to accept it. I had to sit down like, girl, why is all these things? How you smart? You got all these things. What is going on? And then, as they do, they took me to work with a Jewish man. He was so arrogant. He was horrible sometimes. But he owned this spirituality expo, the New Life Expo in New York. And he became one of my biggest mentors. He was and I know Spirit brought me there so they can show me, hey, you're not the only one. You're not weird. So then I'm surrounded by all these people and all these teachers and people who will come up to me and go, stop being scared of your gift. Now, I started this job when I was 17. So I'm looking at these people like, I need y'all to stop. Stop seeing me. But they would never, all the good ones would see me. You need to stop being scared of your gift. Your great-grandmother's mad at you. I'm like, oh my God, how they know? And they would just say things that I know that only me and her knew. So after a while, it was like, okay, you're not the only one, honey. You just me a little different, because I knew I had the energy. I would touch somebody and they would start swinging back and forth. And so you get scared. So I stopped hugging people. I didn't want to hug you. It was just so much things going on.
You must have felt so isolated.
Yes.
Right?
It is a isolation that you couldn't believe. You feel weird. Nobody understands you. You don't want to be this way. You pray. I can remember looking up spells, how to take it away. Like, how do you, take it away? I heard so many things, like you put dirt in your eye and then you can't see no more. All that did was Spirit just sitting there looking at me like, are you done? Are you ready now? So it's like, okay, this is not going away.
But what the saddest part about all of this is? Many of us have different situations, challenges, and that can make us feel isolated.
Yeah, absolutely.
You, in your situation, have a gift that helps others. You want to provide information, closure, all of that for others, and you couldn't live your purpose with that gift for fear of being judged and made fun of, etc.
Absolutely. It was finally when my daughter was in dance school. She was, I guess they went to a trip to a church. They went to a trip to a church, and she was sitting there. And she told me, she said, Mommy, they talked about you today. And I said, what do you mean? She said, they talked about witches and mediums and how y'all of the devil. Like, my daughter, she was crying profusely. And nobody even knew this, but she felt like they knew that, it was me. So I waited and I made sure that I talked to that preacher. I did it in front of his wife and other people, so I could let him understand that I wasn't the devil. And I said some things that his wife nor his mistress knew in this church. Because at that point, that was like, all right, that's it. I have to protect my kids. This what really is. You call me the devil, but you're a preacher and you're doing this. And after that, it was like no hold bars. I could care less anymore. I never told my daughter that, but if she's listening, she knows now.
Wow. Wow.
Mommy, please don't go.
Maybe the universe will make sure she hears it if it's meant, if that's, what the plan is, if that's meant to be.
Yeah, she will hear it. My daughter listens. She's
Wow.
22 now. That happened when she was like 12, 13. It bothered her so much. And I'm like, okay, if you don't have confidence in yourself. And I was doing it on the side, but only for friends, people that knew me, that I was comfortable with. But outsiders, no. But after that, that mistress came to me, and that opened the door for floodgates, because she told her friend and her friend and her friend. And then I was just like, okay, here we go. And so it was the best turning point.
Do you feel now, before we went on today, I'm pretty sure I heard you say that for this lecture this weekend, you got to your destination early, just so you can settle in, just so you can process some of the spirit that may be coming forth. Does spirit, the other side, however you want to phrase it, are they already aware of what's coming? Like,
Yeah.
They knew you're going to be there. They know that their loved one is coming to see you. They already see it. You don't see it, but
you don't see it. You have no idea. The last one I did with the same company I did in Tampa for a week. I went out there. I got grounded. I have friends in Florida. I used to live in Florida, so I just wanted to get grounded, go meditate. Florida have some great parks you can go sit in.
Sure.
And I kept hearing, Catherine. Hi, my name is Catherine. I'm like, okay, who is this? When I talked about her in the lecture, nobody said anything. A lady said she knew Catherine, but Catherine was like, no, that's not her. He waited until after the lecture, came to my booth, because I also do readings at the booth, and said, that was my mother you was talking about. And everything that I said about her, because I said, I don't know who it is, but I'm going to tell you what she said. And he just bust out crying. He said, I wasn't going to come, and something made me come. So, yeah. So already I'm hearing somebody's name. I have no idea who this belongs to. But he has been bothering me for the last 2 days now. It is a father or grandfather, uncle, not sure. I won't say the name, but I can't wait to see who he belongs to, because they just, hello.
Does that ever make you uneasy?
It depends. When I'm doing a lot of stuff, can it get overwhelming? Absolutely. You got kids. I have a 5-year-old, for God's sakes. She don't, it's mama. I'm just mama. All my kids, I'm just mama. Doesn't matter if I have this gift, I'm just mom. So sometimes I'm doing a lot of stuff, and I'm traveling or I'm working, and then it's always a spirit just tapping at you. And you have to go, hey, wait a minute, I'll get to you. Now, some of them, they'll respect that and be like, okay. And then some of them, if they have a message, they got a message. I need to tell them this. Are you going to do it? Like, they won't leave me alone until I do. And actually, when you tell somebody and the reaction you get inside, not just from them, but the feeling that I get inside, it is the most amazing and a profound feeling I have ever felt in my life. It is such a relief. And you just get the chills. And not only that, you just feel good, because you don't know how much that person needs to hear that. And when you say it and you see their face and they tell you they've been waiting, or they didn't know if their parent was mad or if their brother was all right, it's just a feeling that it's like the creator just tapping you on the back, like, good job. That's what you do. That's how I feel. I feel like I get a tap, because it's just a good feeling. It just feels so good. even if it's one person, even if they cry all day and I give them tissue and I feel bad. Sometimes I really cry with them. Like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel like that, but I still feel good knowing that they got what they needed.
Well, not to use a cliche, you are the messenger. You were
Yeah,
placed here to provide the message for somebody else. It's also, like you're the mail carrier. Well,
correct.
let's say if you were hired by the government to deliver mail and I'm going to sit in my truck, am I going to deliver it today? Whatever. Yeah,
It's a great.
that you're not doing your job.
No, right. You know what? And again, when I was young, I didn't get it. And even when I was doing it on the side, I had friends like, you really should let people know who you are. The kick in the butt for me was my own dad's demise, because you just never know. And even though I knew he was sick, and yes, I knew he was going to go, you still don't know. Like, because Creator don't give us a time. They don't say when, they don't say how. So you just, first thing my dad said, and that's how I knew he knew, because, when I was a kid, he always called them my boogity boos. You and your boogity boos go play, just joking with me, making me feel comfortable. And before we even found out he was sick, he told me, he was like, there's certain things that my family couldn't do. Like, they couldn't do what you do. They was brought in the basement. Everybody was scared. It was such a secret. And you have a gift that will make our family history known. You have to share it with the world. Like, you have to say something, because then, you're holding up. He was like, you're holding out the Bailey name, which is my maiden name. You have to let them know what the Baileys are about. We come from a long line of medium women, a long line of men. So you have to tell them the world. Like, you got to do that for me. So I started doing it, and I started getting more open and more open. Mind you, now, this was 3 years before he passed. I set up the thing online. Yeah, that's how I knew my dad knew. Again, didn't even think about it at that time until he got really sick and he passed. And then I was like, that's what that conversation was about.
Wow.
I would have never known that. I would have never known that at all.
God bless him for
Yes.
recognizing what you have in you and encouraging you to share it with others after,
Absolutely.
I would assume, you suppressing it for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I did it online. I finally did open the business like he asked. I did it, but I did not promote it the way he wanted it to. And when he got sick, and the closer it got to him starting to not talk, because he had brain cancer, unfortunately, and he just wanted to be quiet. He just looked at me and was like, "Don't forget who you belong to, like who you are. You need to step it up a notch."
I'll bet. I'll bet you, without knowing it, self-sabotaged, not promoting it in the way that you should have, because you were still maybe subconsciously, I'll do the website, but I'm just going to lean back on it and see what happens, because you're afraid to be judged. To be judged.
Absolutely. And I'm not even going to say subconsciously. I know I was. You get so many different people. And even though I've been in this realm since I was 17 years old, I've met so many media, not even funny, famous ones. And Barry Helm, he's an amazing person. He's going to be at this expo as well. Awesome. I got to meet him when I was like 17, 18 years old. John Edwards, I got to meet him when I was just a kid. And just know that just that right there was a lot, but I still was like, no. And then my sister told me, she was like, I think you're afraid to be famous. Like, you're afraid. And my sister's a therapist, by the way. So we all laugh at her. Like, when she calls us and get on us, we're like, don't therapy us.
Yeah, but she's right. She knows what's going on there. she got it.
Hit it on the nose. She was like, you're not scared of failure because you don't failed before.
I want to share with you, talk about the journey, talk about universe and the plan and all of that. I met John Edward, almost 30 years ago, and worked with him then, worked with him again in 2010. He hired me. And I believe all of that was the setup for this moment right here. I'm not even kidding.
No,
Everything that I learned, everything spiritually, energetically, stuff that, it's on my radar. It didn't come clear until I started talking with people like you.
when I started living in your purpose, when I let go and said, that's it, I can't let my dad down. Like I'm a dad's girl. So that was just everything to me. I could not let him down. Once I did that, I can't tell you the things that happened. I mean, just one after another, after another, after another. And I'm like, get out of here. Oh my God, I could have been on a huge house. I'm just like, oh my God, just end the feeling. The more you do, the more you get comfortable with it, the stronger it gets because it never stops. It just heightens in the level of comfortableness. Now I could care two flying craps if what anybody say.
Yeah.
I am the first one. You tell me something, I'm going to tell you something that you don't want to say, that you don't want to know. And then I walk away, drops my. But
I got
now,
you.
I like the fact that there are people who are very much so aware. Everybody is starting to look for something different.
Yes. And more people, maybe it's a shift in the universe. I don't know what's going on there. People
Yes.
are open to it.
Yes.
And I'm happy and free to speak about these things that can change your life right down to your subconscious. What's going on in there? And I was in a doctor's office yesterday, and there were two women there, two nurses, and we just started a little conversation. And, maybe a few years ago, I might be uncomfortable to talk about this kind of stuff, for fear of maybe like you in a different level judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And as we start talking, they start spewing the same kinds of things. Oh, do you know Lois Hay? Hay House? Oh, of course I do. I've heard that name, and she's been instrumental in all of this. And then they started talking about everything that we're talking about here. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, more and more people are picking up on it, which is...
First deck of cards was Louise Hay. That was my first deck of tarot cards. I had no idea what I was doing. But as soon as I opened that pack, she gives you a little note inside, like you're going to connect. And I'm still a member of the Hay House today because I love them. I like all their events and the stuff that they do. They do great guided meditation sessions. And just to know, back then when I was young, I was just playing with them. And so now I use the cards because some people like visualization, right? They don't, but otherwise than that, I don't need them. I just say what I hear. And everybody always asks me, like, how you know that you're saying the right thing? And it's because I don't know you. That's why. I have no idea about you. I have no gain at whatsoever by not or telling you this whatsoever. All I want to do is sleep. So if I tell you, then they'll go away. They'll be satisfied. And I can go to sleep. That's what I think.
You're just handing it off. This is the way we're handing it off and going to sleep. It goes back to what we said here in the beginning. We didn't know each other. We knew, we met each other 20 seconds prior. And then, the runny nose situation presented itself. You didn't even know what it was. You were just saying, I got a female for you. I don't know what it is. Hold on. I got to blow my nose.
Off the phone. I said, now you couldn't have told me you was his mom. I would have been said something.
That's not her. That's not her. She's the woman. She's the woman that would say, hey, there's a car parked across the street. I don't know who that is. So she was doing that with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's not trusting you. Now, hold on a sec. Let's see how this goes here.
Right. I want to see how they hit it because that's my baby. Like she was that mother figure. She was very protective, and you could feel it. You can feel it. You could feel like I'm a mom, so I get that feeling. Like that's my baby, and you have to tell him. But I want to make sure that you tell him. And my mother literally said the day before we even started, "Oh, you're getting a cold," and I'm going, "I guess so." It's on my allergies. I again still had no idea. I didn't see her until that time. And then she actually showed herself, and I seen her with the tissue. But before then, she just was around me. I knew what spirit was around me. I always acknowledged them. Hey, if somebody's there, who are you? When they ready, as long as I don't feel like it's evil, I'll leave them be. They will say something to me when they ready. And she did it perfectly timing. Like, I'm going to give you this runny nose for a minute. I could not put the tissue down. I couldn't.
And you're beginning a podcast. So, some people would say, I'm just going to suck it up. I got 30 minutes and blow my nose after that.
Yes.
You were free and comfortable with, hang on a second. My nose is running. I don't know what's going on there. I knew right away. As soon as you said woman coming through and you got the tissue, I'm like, that's it. There's no, just amazing.
Honestly, I'm always amazed myself. My friends always like, how are you amazed? Again, this is not normal, right? Who wakes up and go, hey, you know what I want to do today? I want to talk to the dead. Like, nobody.
Right.
You really have to get grounded. You really have to be comfortable with yourself.
Yes.
You have to be okay with not self-sabotaging. Like you say, we got to get out our own way and let spirit guide you to where to go. Because you either everybody's here for some kind of purpose. It's just, do you know your place? Do you know your purpose? And they just kept bothering me until I got it. Like, hello, this is your purpose.
But interestingly, you do that for other people. I'm sure so many readings have taken place with you where you gave somebody insight into what their purpose is in life and what they should be doing because they didn't see it. But on the other side, their relatives are screaming, no, don't be the accountant, be the artist. I know you think you're not going to make money, but just do it. It is you are creative and the abundance will flow. Just go in that direction.
And guess what? In these days and times, who is not scared to jump out there on a whim? Like, thing is so expensive. Eggs are $9.
Yeah. I got you.
So like, do I really want to jump out there where I don't know? But I will say this out loud. If you know you are supposed to be doing something, if it's bothering you, if you keep leaving job after job after job after job, or you get a job, you're making all this money and you're still not satisfied, then you're not living in your purpose.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you say. If your purpose is to be an artist, nothing's going to go right until you live in your purpose. I promise you, Spirit will provide what you need. Yes. They will provide. Need money to be here. They know you need to pay for bills. They know eggs is $10 for God's sakes. So they're not gonna let you. They're not gonna bring you here for your purpose and then let you fail. No. As long as you show them that, hey, okay, I'm ready. Sky's the limit.
And you know the answer. You feel it within. Of course, we ignore it. Of course, worried about bills and things like that.
Absolutely.
But you are one of those people that help us validate the knowing with the connection to spirit. Wonderful talking with you. How do we connect? You could do readings anywhere on location. It doesn't matter.
Anywhere, you can give me a call and schedule an appointment. You can go on my website, www.intuitivewisdom.com. That's intuitive with a Q. Or you can give me a call at 839-232-9339. And then I will be at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. I will have a table. I believe it's number 44. And I speak Saturday at 4 p.m. So if you have something you want to know, you need closure, I'll see you there in Raleigh.
I will be buying your book when you write it, and that book will come after you attain a certain level of stature in this field of work, which is going to happen.
Do you know I told you that you're very spiritual, right?
I feel it.
I'm gonna tell you a secret that I haven't told anybody, and might as well now. I have already started that.
I knew that. And I also know that you're going to rock it. You're going to propel. It's just like when I look at you, I see the light and the light that you provide for others. So strap yourself in. You're going to get busy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm ready for it because they've been waiting for me.
Yeah.
So they told me like, get ready. We've been waiting for this for a long time. And now my dad's on that side, so he didn't play. No. Do what you got. And let's go.
Well, you got to honor him, but we're ready for you. Thank you so much for today. Have a great time at the event, and we'll catch up soon. Okay.
We'll catch up soon.
You got it. Thanks. We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.